Welcome to Madam Speaker 101, episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is relevant to anyone that's a public speaker. However, I just want to quickly define what I mean by public speaker. So a public speaker is any person, whether they're doing it as a motivational speaker, whether it's someone that just has to present something to a group of people, or anyone that's addressing some sort of media or a group of people to say something about something. Okay, so that is how I've classified today's episode. But in essence, I think we are all public speakers then, right? In my description, I think it really covers each and every single one of you. But welcome, and I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for the engagement. I've really been so flabbergasted with the engagement that you guys have been giving me through the channel, and supporting all of the channels and watching all the videos, commenting, saying yes. So far I've never gotten to this, so thank you so much. It really means a lot. I really appreciate your support in this regard. And remember what I said, you need to share this. If you know there's someone who this information is relevant for, please share it with the people. It doesn't really cost you much. My point is really to impact as many people as I can with free information based on my expertise, and that is like my everyday disclaimer. So this is not written in a book somewhere and I'm busy nibbling off. This is really just from the bottom of my heart, and it's really based on my experience. Cool. All right, so therefore, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I say that because look at me today. I wasn't planning on sharing a video, but I just had something burning in my heart and I just had to share it with you today. So today's topic, very exciting, but it's basically very easy, and it's just the simple steps on how to do this right. Today's topic is about mastering public speaking, right? You all say that, what does she mean by mastering? I mean, how can we master public speaking? No one is a master of anything. They say that. Not everybody's a master at everything, but I'm inclined to believe that, you know, with a little bit of principles and tips and steps, you can actually get it right. Okay, so now let's get into what it is that I'm talking about. So today I'll be sharing a few tips, literally only 4 tips. So I will be sharing a little bit of something that has really helped me to get me to where I am. All right, so tip number 1, do not fidget. Yes, do not fidget. So I don't know if you guys picked up, but on the previous 3 episodes, I deliberately, I did this on purpose, intentionally, I was fidgeting, whether I was pulling my kimono, or I'm scratching my hair, or I'm fixing my t-shirt. That was deliberate. So those are the kind of things that really tick me off as a public speaker. If I'm watching you on stage and you're sharing content that I actually want to listen to, but you're busy fidgeting, it's distracting, okay? So it distracts your audience from actually focusing on what you're saying. And also it makes you look a little bit crazy because it looks like your mind is at 7 million places at once, which is not good at all. You need to be present in the moment. You know, your audience is expecting you to be present in the moment. Your audience is expecting you to engage 100%. And if you're busy fidgeting and worrying about how you look and worrying about your t-shirt, it's really going to be much of a hurdle for your audience. Simple, right? So try not to fidget, okay? Try and keep, like the soldiers do, keep your hands to your sides, but don't look too military. Look a bit casual, but try and keep them really on the side of your body. All right, cool. And that's simple. And then it actually leads me into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is very, very linked to tip number 1, but it's such a common mistake that a lot of people do. And that is limit your hand gestures. Your hand gestures and your facial expressions. Limit your facial expressions and your hand gestures. So I'm a very expressive person. There's nothing wrong with once in a while using your hands to bring forward your point of view, right? There's nothing wrong with that, absolutely not. But you need to try and do it in limited amounts, because it can also be very distracting and it can also be misinterpreted. Can you imagine how it would have looked like if President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday was talking about this national crisis, it's a national disaster, wouldn't that freak you out a little bit? I think it would, because it makes it seem very robust and more big and uncontrolled, and it would have spread panic. But however, he was very uniform. He was very serious, because whatever he had to say was a serious thing. Okay, the country is in a panic, and I need to address them in a calm, professional manner. To perceive calmness, I keep my hands to my side. I don't fidget. I don't use my arms a lot. Only when necessary, like when he was showing you how to do the elbow. And that's it. It's very important to limit how you express yourself when you're on stage, because it can really be distracting, and it will even distract you, and you'll start losing control. And when I talk about your facial expressions and your emotions, this thing of always giggling when it's unnecessary, it really does make you look like you're not serious about what you're doing. It makes you look like you're not respectful towards your audience, okay? So your audience is there, they're engaging, they're curious to hear what you have to say, and the last thing they want is for you to be giggling all the time, looking all giddy like you're in love or something, but rather to just bring your point across, okay? But very important, listen, I'm not saying don't do any of those things. They are very important. It's part of verbal and non-verbal cues for you to express certain things, just to bring up your point across. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it only becomes an issue when you're like throwing your hands in the air and you're just trying to act like you don't care. You really don't need that kind of emotion, okay? So you can like just keep it down, keep it down. And it's like simple as that, okay? So for me, it's just very important for you to do this in limited bounds. To obviously take control of yourself on stage, and to make sure that you are perceived as professional, that you are perceived as someone that understands what it is that you're doing. Are we clear? Yes, I think so too. I think we're clear. I love hand gestures. It's actually one of my strong suits. I use my hands a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. You must also be cognizant of your audience. If you are talking to an audience that is very chill and calm, then it's okay to once in a while use your hands. And you'll see, once you have a mic in your hand, it actually becomes even more easier to control your hand gestures than always just sitting with your hands waving at the bottom. All right, and then that quickly just moves us over to tip number 3, which is controlling your facial expressions. Right, so you've got people that like to raise the eyebrow a little bit and show some attitude. Sometimes it's not necessary to show attitude. Not all the time, hey? Not all the time, yes. It's very important that you control your facial expressions. And when you're talking about something serious, you need to have a serious facial expression. And if you're doing something a bit more light-hearted, it's okay to smile once and again. And obviously you don't want to look like a robot or a monster. You do want your audience to engage with you. You want your audience to kind of resonate with you, okay? So it's very important for you to control your facial expressions, control your emotions. It's very, very important to really, your emotives need to be in check, but they also need to be aligned to your audience, okay? And to the topic that you are sharing. Very important, huh? I agree. All right, and then that quickly brings us to step number 4. So step number 4, or tip number 4, I keep on saying step, I have no idea why. I used to be a dancer, I mean, step. All right, so tip number 4 is you need to learn to practice, and there's no better place to practice than in front of the mirror. Trust me, guys. Practicing in front of the mirror is one of the best things that you can ever do for yourself. It's something that I do a lot ever since I've been doing it. Even before this video, trust me, I practiced in front of the in front of the mirror to get ready for this video. I promise you, for every single thing, whenever I have a public speaking, a presentation, or this video, I practice in front of the mirror to make sure that my point is being brought across, and to make sure that there is substance in what I'm saying and you can resonate with that substance of the content, okay? It's very important for you to understand the importance of practicing, okay? Because practice makes perfect. Even though no one is perfect in life and we all have flaws, there's absolutely nothing wrong. And trust me, when you're looking in front of a mirror, you're gonna see all of your flaws. But there's nothing wrong with acknowledging your flaws, being proud about them, and accepting them. Because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made in God's image. He made you so unique and special. There's only one you. So there's no point in you hating on yourself. Appreciate yourself, love on yourself, and that will also in essence build your self-confidence, So I want to share a story. A friend of mine a couple of years ago was diagnosed with depression, okay? Because she was heavily bullied in school, and she actually never realized, but she could never look in front of the mirror. And this story I'm sharing with you is just to show you the power that a mirror beholds, okay? And that's why I believe in mirrors so much, okay? Because it's a reflection of you in your whole entirety, with your flaws, your big nose, your big eyes, your small lips, your busted lip, your scar from when you were young, your big ears. Every single imperfection of you or your perfection of you is depicted in your reflection, all right? And you need to kind of be in one and accept it. So she was diagnosed with severe depression because of the bullying in school. The girls at school used to make fun of her facial features. And immediately the subconscious made her stop looking herself in the mirror. Can you imagine? And this woman, she had 2 kids, she's married, she carried on with her life, but she actually didn't realize how much this has been a hurdle. She never wore makeup because she could not look in front of the mirror for too long. She couldn't even put on eyeliner, she couldn't even put on mascara, makeup, nothing. She always just got ready and carried on. So when she had her session with her therapist said to her, how often do you look yourself in the mirror? And then her response was, what do you mean? I mean, I get ready every day, so I'm fine. And she says, but, because obviously she shared her story to say what the girls were saying to her growing up. So the therapist wanted to gauge exactly how deep is this thing. The therapist then told her, take out your pocket mirror or your beauty mirror, the small one, look yourself in the mirror. And she looked at herself in the mirror for not even a minute, and she started crying, bawling, hysterically crying, because then she remembered all the horrible things the girls used to say to her in school. I can't remember exactly, was it about her nose or her ears, but it was a facial feature of hers that was made fun of by these girls, and it had scarred her for so many years. Can you believe that? That's the power of a mirror. And obviously the therapist then, encouraged her to start looking in the mirror. Today, I can say she's fully rehabilitated. She can look herself in the mirror. She's confident about herself. She can put on makeup now, yes, on herself, without even crying. But she has now appreciated her flaws. And that is basically what the mirror has. It's a reflection of you. It shows you each and everything about yourself, even when you're sad. I don't know if you've noticed this, but okay, I love the mirror, so I can notice this. When I am sad, the first place I actually see my sadness is in front of the mirror. When I'm tired, it's in front of the mirror. Before my body tells me that I'm tired, I see it in the mirror that I look fatigued, I look a bit tired, I need to rest. The mirror is your best friend. I'm not saying be vain. Please don't misunderstand me. But what I'm saying is, I use the mirror for myself and it works. And you can try it as well at home, in steps to get over your hurdle. But it has built my self-confidence, because I'm not only confident to speak in front of people, but I'm confident about what I'm saying, because I can see the level of substance that I'm sharing because of the reflection. I also believe that I am beautiful, irrespective of what people think, what society thinks. You need to tell yourself that you're beautiful. So part of her rehab was the therapist taught her to declare things to herself. So when you're looking at yourself in that mirror, you say, I am beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am who God said I am. The power of a mirror, guys, I'm telling you, it has done absolutely phenomenal work. And when she shared that, when she shared her story with me, I got goosebumps, because I couldn't understand my obsession with the mirror, why I always wanted to perfect my craft in front of the mirror. But I understand it now, because it's a true reflection of you. And you learn your gestures in front of the mirror. So all of the steps and the tips that I actually gave out, you start learning how to control them by practicing in front of the mirror. Your facial expressions, your non-verbal and verbal cues, your hand gestures, every single thing that you do, you start practicing in front of the mirror and you start learning. It is really, really that simple. So those are the basic 4 steps that I use and to obviously master my public speaking. And it's something that I do on a continuous basis, because sometimes I do forget and I do fidget. Disclaimer alert, okay? They say the first step to rehab is acceptance, okay? Or you have to disclose, or you have to, yeah, I think it's acceptance. Yeah, I think it's acceptance. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Again, my name is Moey Mohapi, the host with the most. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I only share when I'm inspired, but please, I want to engage with as many people. I want to share my message to the world, okay, not the world, to everyone that basically has internet. And yeah, so that's just about it. So I guess I will see you at my next video.